Go. Hey, um, the border bill did not pass because um, the Republicans are doing the same old song and dance. I had to bring this up real quick because first and immediately because it's very important that everybody jogs their memories. You got to jog your memory for this. Uh, it was said back in 2016 that according to a politician named Andrew Yang, when he did the math of our economy, he said that the U.S. was capable of paying every United States citizen $1,000 a month because of how much money this country was making. Um, Now he wound up losing his reputation when he said, "We stand in full force with Israel. Israel has the right to kill Palestinians." As sure as I really don't remember the exact words, but he didn't say it like that, but he might as well have, so to say. Now, his own image got shot, you know. But the thing that never left my memory was the simple fact that he was right at the time, before the pandemic and the shutdowns and all this other stuff. At the time, we could have gotten paid $1,000 a month. Now, here's where we come back to the reasoning of the border bill this year in 2024. Back in 2016, the Republicans said, shame on Andrew Yang. He should know better. If he did the math, we could pay our American citizens $2,000 a month. And to a certain extent, that might have been true, but it was actually safer for our country if we all got paid $1,000 a month. Well, it all got tossed out the window anyway as soon as Trump came in office. He never touched the subject. He went on deregulating companies and all that to where they could do what they want. And it trickled down from the oil and fuel industry all the way down to the food industry with our McDonald's and fast food joints, where everybody could still be paid, but they get paid under the minimum wage, where we all stay under, we the regular citizens stay under the low cost of living, making it very difficult um, to live, the high costs of living that exists right now even. But even back then, it was debatable as to whether or not we could actually keep on surviving. The fact of the matter was, even if we could, it was still getting more difficult to actually achieve. Um, People were starting to lose their houses even back then. The pandemic and all this other stuff just made it all that more easier for companies to evict people. Um, Back to the bill. You know, we've got the infrastructure bill being passed in accordance to Biden's 3.3 trillion in within a 10-year time span. Okay, and even then, everybody was still debating and claiming that we could do it within 5 years. Like AOC, she was the one that said that we could actually reach 3 trillion within 5 years. The only problem was is that it was automatically revealed that it would be a lot more costlier and heavier on our side, the taxpayers' end. Um, but the infrastructure bill got passed. The economic bill got passed. The only thing that didn't was the wealth tax plan, the tax wealth plan, the wealth tax. I forgot the name. I forgot the proper title. That was the one where everybody would pay their fair share of taxes, even the wealthy. And that one did not pass because of Kristen Sinema and I think his name was Joe Manchin, two Democrats that turncoated on us. See, but just before that, everybody was saying, shame on you. You know, we could tax the wealthy even more than what you want to do. But once the bill failed, everybody just stopped looking at it. Now, flash forward all the way back to 2024, and we got this border bill where, It comes with a unique humanitarian effort plan and upholding the defenses along the border and all this good stuff. But the Republicans are saying, shame on you, and a couple of Democrats, shame on you. We can't, there's not enough. It needs more on border defense, which none of that was the case pleaded in the courts when they were debating the bill. When they were debating the bill, the only thing that they were talking about was cutting funds for Ukraine and Israel. They mentioned nothing about border security when they were doing their debates. But the debates finished, the bill did not pass, and so everybody said, "Well, yeah, we wanted more on the border protection. We don't want to hurt the Israelites. We don't want to hurt the Ukrainians. No, the big issue is the border security." Which again, they did not bring that up anytime during the debates. So what we're looking at when you take a step back and look at it is that same old song and dance from as far back as 2016, where they say, shame on you to whoever wrote the bill and said we could actually do more. So, and then whether it passes or not, the subject is never brought up again, and more is never done. No more is done for the bill, for the issue. And I bring all this up because this should allow the president to make a state of emergency. It's always a temporary state of emergency, but he's been doing stuff like that. He's been doing stuff like this since he got into presidency, particularly around the oil and fuel industry. He's been pulling out reservoirs and reserves. He's made a couple of deals with the enemy, but he's not bowing down to them the way somebody like Trump would. And he's not deregulating them like the way somebody like Trump would. That's a very serious issue, because if you all remember, those of you who remember back when all this chaos actually started, it was very serious that Biden, who put his foot down, kept it down, because no other president, not even Obama, was standing up to the BS that Biden is now standing up to. He told Russia no more oil because it wasn't Russian oil. It was stolen Ukrainian oil. It was stolen Crimean oil. It was stolen Croatian oil. It was stolen Kosovo oil. And it was all blood oil, where many people died for Russia to ascertain that oil and sell it to us. So he tells them no. And for some oddball reason, everybody calls him a traitor or a communist, which I don't really get that. But when it comes to accusations towards the government, the accusations can go left and right and wild and all that stuff. I learned that when I was a child, when I first started hanging out with the potheads and all that at the age of 14. And some of the people that said it was okay to, that we should have it legal and all that, they went off with wild antics also, because as it got bigger and bigger and bigger as to why we are oppressed and all this other crap. So I kind of understand it. I don't agree with it, but I don't fuss over it, because one, it's not really my voice to change. Two, it is just wild antics and accusations when you stop and look at it. Okay. Biden said no to Russian oil because it was blood oil that wasn't even theirs. Biden said no to Saudi Arabian oil because they were doing all of these inhumane things to their people. So the Saudis said, you will buy our oil regardless as to whatever we do to our people, and you'll be thankful for it and you'll like it and all this stuff. So Biden closed the door on that, even though he has made a couple of deals every now and then for certain amounts, and he's authorized deals that were owed. So, he's done that much. But as far as just bowing down to them and all of the crap that they're doing over there in the Middle East, that's something that we need to hang on to Biden for, because of the simple fact that he put his foot down and he needs to stay standing strong. Now, the previous president, who's trying to gain presidency again now, he didn't do anything like that. He just, he beat his chest a little bit and everything, but he deregulated everything to where we still kept having blood oil being brought in from the Middle East as well. So we got a president right now that's standing strong and holding on. We really, there's a real need to back this up. Honestly, I think he should declare a state of emergency, reverting it back to the border, and just take the reins. He took the reins with the oil. Venezuela's trying to attack a little country called Guyana, because a third of its country has all those oil plants. Biden told Venezuela, hey, cool it down, let's work a deal. And they said, no, you will take all the migrants that we're kicking out of our country, and you will still buy our oil, whether you like it or not. And now Biden has cut off the ties with that. Now, he has done a little bit of business still, money that was owed to Exxon and Chevron, money and oil that was owed to Chevron. And now he's looking at possibly defending Guyana, but Venezuela hasn't attacked Guyana yet. Where Chevron is doing a couple of deals with Guyana right now, we might actually have to intervene should Venezuela actually attack Guyana, sorry. And that's huge. That is ginormously huge. No president, not Carter, not Ronald Reagan, never the Bushes, neither one of the Bushes, and nor Obama, not even Trump, had the balls to do this kind of stuff. So we got to show kind of respect to that. Then with all of the doors closed on us, that's when he's done these, tax-free holidays. He's done these provisions to where, nothing is taxed for like 3 months or something like that. And then he's pulled out reserves. After periodical time of all the reserves being built up, he'll pull them out again, and prices of gas goes back down again. So he's already got a good, history experience. He's already got good experience with pulling reserves and declaring emergencies and alternating this and finishing off the deals and all this good stuff. He can seriously do that same kind of stuff with the migrant situation, and the first things first is just take control of the border, remove all the wiring and the razor wiring that's killing them, process and background check and quarantine if they're sickly, the way he did when he first initially started that first quarter year of his presidency. And I say quarter year because the Republicans moved in fast to stop the stuff. Especially my Texas governor, who's in the limelight right now. He's being declared a hero and all this other stuff. But I'll bet you real money, that governor in Iowa, the governor in Arizona, the governor in Florida, sorry, I couldn't help it. Honestly, I honestly think they'll all tuck tail and run as soon as Biden actually steps up. As soon as Biden has the military take over the relieve Texas military of their duties and let them do whatever, which honestly, I think if Greg Abbott wasn't so messed in the head with this abuse of power and putting up the razor wire and all this crap, if he had actually used them to good use by backing up the Department of Homeland Security and DPS, Department of Public Safety, and the Border Patrol, as well as cops, or at least have those agencies back up the police, whatever city, town, county that they're in, traffickers would have been picked up like that. Recovered and rescued migrants would have been in would have been in the facilities there, because they're obviously cooperating, when they cross the thing and they actually get captured. Okay, they pick up their hands and they turn themselves in, and the honest ones are going through the process of being vetted. The dirty ones, as we're now seeing, which brings me to the next subject, are resorting to crime. Okay, and which we've already seen. We've had cops being fought in Chicago, cop being attacked in New York, a cop being attacked in Arizona, and we've got migrants robbing people, mugging people. There was a lady that got mugged by two muggers twice. They weren't really sure as to whether or not they were from the Habitat of Humanity. The facilities, the housing facilities. But that investigation is still going on. Here's the deal. Now we're in 2024. If Abbott had started cooperating, if Abbott had showed any kind of cooperation with the government, where people were being screened, background checked, quarantined if they were sick, and separated men with wives and children, as opposed to the abuse that took place as far back as the Obama administration into the Trump administration, 2014 to 2018. Look, I'll tell you, I don't have the paper with me. I used to have it, but I have written, I have broadcasted this back in 2021. So if you scroll down as far back as 2021, I can, you can get it full. But since I forgot it, here it is. Sex crimes are being committed to those kids and people when they were being caged, as far back as the Obama administration in 2014, all the way up to the Trump administration in 2018. There are 4,500 people that were violated, and most of the stuff was covered up by the officials that were holding them in the facilities, that were saying that it was mostly migrant on migrant crime, even the little kids, back when there was nobody but minors coming across, because if they were minors alone, they would be facilitated. And these people that are looking after them were telling the media, well, it's crime on crime. It's migrant on migrant crime. Even in the minors, even those minors that were in there, they were doing it to each other. And for some oddball reason, everybody believed them. Okay. I don't really understand why, but it happened. And I guess it's because nobody wants to think America can do something so harsh and all this other crap. Again, I don't understand why they would go on to thinking like this or neglecting the crimes that were being committed. Now, revert back to 2024, where Biden now has the opportunity to take the reins, seeing as how the bill that was supposed to save everything got rejected because of Republicans and a couple of Democrats going, no, I don't want to. You get what I'm saying? I mean, that's dumbing down and being sarcastic, but you see what I'm saying. Biden now has opportunity to pull the reins, to take over, and even arrest politicians and anybody else that intervenes from this point on. He now has the opportunity. And I've been saying this since the beginning, also since I started this show also. What Governor Greg Abbott is doing by busing migrants without their paperwork, without background checks, without even seeing whether or not they're COVID carriers. What Governor Abbott is doing is endangering life, American life. Because he, as he himself has said, along with Trump and all these other governors, Republican governors, they're rapists, they're murderers. They're traffickers and they're COVID carriers. And he said this, and he still busts them to sanctuary cities in the name of Biden not doing his job. Well, what about him doing his job? You see what I'm saying? Every politician has a responsibility of looking after their people and the rest of the people in the United States of America. He's making the claim that all this chaos and all this invasion is happening because of one man up at that's G.I. Joe bull crap. Okay? Biden is Cobra. And all of you Republicans are part of G.I. Joe, the American hero. Which you're not. Everybody that's listening to them is following it based off of some kind of G.I. Joe cartoon. And it doesn't work that way, not in real life. It's a group of governors, a group of politicians who are participating in causing more harm than good with our taxpaying dollars. And then blaming it on one person like he's Cobra. I'm sorry, it's just downright dumb. But I have to reiterate this again. It's just downright stupid. It's all about the money. Belief is the tool. And as sure as anybody believes this garbage, they're going to be putting in contributions to the storyteller. Abbott is the prime example of that. Governor Abbott here of this state, Texas, is the prime example of that. He's been mixing stuff around, mixing words and doing this and doing that. He's been doing the exact opposite while saying that he's doing something good. He's saying he's taking responsibilities of our border while claiming Biden isn't. Which technically, Biden isn't doing anything because of the takeover that Abbott is doing. And he's inappropriately abusing his power in that process. Biden needs to make a very serious move instead of waiting for bipartisanship, instead of waiting for after the election, because the people are hurting now. It's not just the migrants that are hurting, it's us Americans that are hurting. And to put up a bill, to work real hard to put up a bill, just to have it go through that same song and dance, that there could have been more being done, being claimed by people who aren't even putting in anything into the effort, who aren't putting any effort into that bill, into doing more. They should have offered it, they should have worked it, they should have done something. They're not doing more. They're just doing crap. They're just doing inappropriate uses of their political leadership responsibilities and tasks and powers, opportunities. And that's wrong. So I'm coming up to 25 minutes, maybe a whole half hour if I keep on yapping as I say my goodbyes. This is just to bring up the simple fact that Biden now, more than ever, has the perfect opportunity to declare a state of emergencies and take over the border, and do things the right way, the way that it's supposed to be done. I wish he would seriously give it to some consideration, especially after 3 long years of opposition. From 2021 to now. Anyway, let's keep our fingers crossed. Y'all take care. Y'all take it easy. This is Chris with Chris's Comments, signing out.